All right, what's going on? This is going to be installment number 2 on the Bible. The first one, I spoke about the rapture. I had a question basically asking, because the Bible, based on what I read, it says that it already happened. So if it already happened, what are you waiting for? This particular installment, I'm going to touch on some of the, or one of the tricks that I feel like is played with the book. And if you go through history and you really do your research, and I'm not going to get deep into this right now. Later I will. I promise. I can't wait to. But just to make sure everybody's following what I'm saying, there's got to be a sequence to it. So right now I'm not going to get deep into it. But if you've done your research, you know that the Romans fingerprint is all over the New Testament in the Bible. And so with that being said, if you know how they thought and their thought process being sick in a lot of ways, they were very egotistical, and they like they like for you to know what's going on because it's funny to them, but they don't want it to be blatant. They want to know what's happening. They want it to be known in a way that if you can read through the lines, you can figure it out. But they don't feel like everyone else is as intelligent as they are or as intellectual as they are. And so they feel like if they put it in a certain way and they spin it a certain way, that you won't get it. And a lot of people don't. That's the genius of it. And it's still happening today. Don't get it twisted. Like, not much has changed. But when it comes to the Bible, there's some things in there that are blatant, but for some reason seem to get passed by or passed over. People don't seem to bring these things up. And so in this particular video, I want to point out how basically the Bible tells you, or basically Jesus, okay, like, because the Bible in the New Testament, they have Jesus being quoted in a lot of cases. And in this particular verse that I'm going to read, these scriptures that I'm going to read, this is Jesus telling you that he isn't the Savior, and that people are going to fool a lot of people by telling you that he's the Savior. And so these are the type of tricks that the Roman people like to play, and these are some of the things that was thrown into the Bible just to kind of let you know the truth. But if you don't pay attention, you won't really catch it. And so I'm going to get into the verses real quick, and then I'm going to get into a little quick commentary, and then again, I'll have open, challenges to anybody who wants to, show me something different. But the book is Matthew, chapter 24, verses 3 through 5. Okay. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came upon, And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. Now, I don't know if y'all heard that, so I'm going to read it one more time. Okay? Verse 3, And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And Jesus, this is verse 4, and Jesus answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. Verse 5, this is the most important verse right here. Matthew chapter 24, verse 5. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. Okay? For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. Okay. That's pretty damn clear to me. Now, what's going to happen is the people who really want to not believe the truth of those words, if you believe this book to be the truth, they're going to tell you that, oh no, look at the commas break it down, and because of that, he's not saying what you're saying he's saying. He's saying that people are going to come claiming to be Jesus, and they're going to claim that they are Jesus reincarnated and fool and deceive people. However, when you know the Bible and you do your research, again, I'm going to hit y'all with this over and over again. Do your research, okay? When you actually know how the Bible was written, it wasn't written in today's English grammar. That's not how it was structured. So that being said, the Bible wasn't written with all these commas that y'all threw into the Bible later. Okay, so when you read the Bible, you read it straight through. There was no commas in there. Okay, and so when you read that straight through, I'll do it again because I feel it's very clear. When you read it straight through, which is how it was written, which is how it would have been read back then, when the Bible was first written and distributed to its people, it would have been read straight through, no commas. So reading it straight through, no commas, what it says is, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. That's pretty damn clear that Jesus in the Bible is telling you that he isn't Christ. But people are going to come and tell you that he's Christ and deceive you. For all my critics out there, explain this to me. Can you explain that to me? Can you explain how it is that the man that you call Christ said himself that he wasn't Christ, and people was going to come and deceive people by telling you that he was Christ? Please explain that to me. Help me out. Please help me out. I know if I spoke to someone directly and he told me himself that he wasn't something, and then some other people came after he was dead and told me that he was something that he told me he wasn't, I'm not going to believe that information I got later. I'm going to believe the information I got directly from the source. And so, directly from the source, he says he wasn't Christ. Explain that for me. This is installment 2. I will be getting into more. The next installment, I will be touching on the fact that Jesus in the Bible is made up of many different characters, real people in history, not characters. The character of Jesus in the Bible is made up of multiple people that actually existed in history. And I'm going to get into that, and I'm also going to get into the reason behind them basically taking multiple people and figures in history and morphing them into this one figure that ended up coming into history and existence after the Nicene Council. But we'll get into that in the next video. For this video, please explain to me how it is that you can say Jesus is the Christ when he said he wasn't, if you believe in this Bible. I'm gonna sign off. Y'all have a wonderful day.
Premium 91. You try hating fuck boys, look, I'm not the one. Tommy got a job with me, he my Tommy gun. Connect, hit you with that work, I'm who he got it from. Still a player, swag bigger than your granny draws.